Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anindha Rahma Khairunnisa, student ID number 3.41.19.2.3, class accounting 3C. In this occasion, I would like to presenting my final project of proposal. My proposal entitled Implementation of Relevant Costs to Accept or Refuse Special Orders at ABC Company. Here, I will first to mention about structure of presentation. There is a background, problem formulation, research objective, research benefit, literature review, then research method. Let me begin from background. In carrying out the activities of a company, it is often faced with several choices or alternatives from the activities carried out. To choose one of these alternatives, management needs information about costs. To decide which alternative to choose, they often experience uncertainty. Therefore, management needs information that can reduce the uncertainty. This thus enabling them to make good choice. One of the important information for planning and decision making is the relevant information of the effect of cost. ABC Company, which is a company that operates in field X, in carrying out its business activities, it often gets special order from consumer. With the special orders, the company needs to apply relevant costs in determining whether orders can be accepted or rejected in order to achieve maximum profit in one period. The success or failure of the company in achieving its goals is very dependent on the management of the company. To see whether the management of a company is successful or not can be seen from the profits earned by the company. From this description, researchers are interested in conducting research on the importance of applying relevant costs in determining whether special orders can be accepted or rejected in order to achieve maximum profit. Next, about problem formulation. First, how is the relevant cost calculation in making a decision to accept or reject a special order at ABC Company? Second, how to analyze the relevant cost in relation to making a decision to accept or reject a special order at ABC Company. Then, research objective. The objectives to be carried out in this research are: first, to find out the relevant cost calculation in making a decision to accept or reject a special order at ABC Company. Then, to analyze the relevant cost in relation to making a decision to accept or reject a special order at ABC Company. Let's move to research benefit. First, this research is expected to be used as consideration by the company's management regarding relevant costs, so that it can be used as an alternative and decision-making tool in accepting or rejecting special order. 2. This research is expected to increase the knowledge of researchers in applying the knowledge that has been obtained in college with actual practice in the company. 3. This research is expected to contribute in terms of increasing knowledge, especially those related to relevant costs. Now, I will present about literature review. First, cost definition. Cost is an economic sacrifice that can be measured by money that has occurred in the past and will occur in the future to obtain goods and service. This cost use the accumulation for inventory valuation purpose and for the preparation of financial reports, where this type of cost data is sourced from the books and record of the company. Next, about cost behavior. According to Mulyadi, in general, the pattern of cost behavior is defined as the relation between total cost and change in the volume of activity. There are three types of cost behavior, namely fixed cost and variable cost, also mixed cost or semi-variable cost. Fixed costs are costs whose total amount remains constant, not affected by change in the volume of activities or activities to a certain level. The higher the level of activity, the lower the fixed cost per unit. The lower the level of activity, the higher the fixed cost per unit. Variable costs are costs whose total amount will change according to change in the volume of production of goods, so that the greater the production volume, the higher the total variable cost. The lower the production volume, the lower the total variable cost. Mixed costs are costs that consist of elements of fixed costs and variable costs. These costs are generally included in the indirect cost component. Its behavior is not as constant as the previous two cost groups. Move to definition of relevant costs. Relevant costs are costs incurred in the future in various alternatives for making management decisions. According to Ahmad Kamarudin, relevant costs are costs that can be avoided and must be considered by every decision maker in choosing various alternatives. There are several concepts relevant to making various decisions, including A. Differential cost, B. Traceable fee, C. Replacement cost, and then opportunity cost. Then about relevant cost benefit. The benefit of the influence of relevant cost in accepting and rejecting special order is a determining factor in making a decision whether an option will be executed or not. Managers need to compare the cost and benefit of other alternatives. Relevant costs are more concerned in considering the best decision making of various alternatives. And finally, about decision making in accepting or rejecting special order. The right analysis in making a decision to accept a special order is to use a contribution approach and focus on the overall end result. In general, only variable manufacturing costs are affected by special order. All other variable costs and their fixed costs are unaffected and are therefore ignored in special order calculation. Cost analysis can be done more easily with the contribution approach, which distinguishes the behavior pattern of variable costs and fixed costs. In general, special orders are acceptable if 1. Additional income exceeds additional costs, 2. There are idle facilities that are more profitable if used, and 3. Special order will not disrupt the regular product market. Now, I will present about research methods. First, about data type. Data types are divided into two types. First, qualitative data. Qualitative data in this research are present in the form of words that contain meaning in the form of a brief history of the company, organizational structure, production process, and other relevant information. Second, quantitative data. Quantitative data used in this research are data related to the application of relevant costs in making decisions to accept or reject special order, such as selling price, production cost, company revenue, and other data that can support this subject. Next, data source. Data source also divided into two types. First, primary data. In this research, the data obtained directly from the original source in the form of raw data that has not been processed, such as information that is directly received by the ABC company. Second, secondary data. The data obtained were in the form of documents related to the problem discussed and the literature that was read and used as a reference by researchers. Now about data collection technique. First, observation. Observation is a data collection technique by making direct observation on the object of study. Second, interview. Interviews were conducted directly with company leaders, heads of production departments, and a number of personnel involved in the research. And then, literature review. Data collection was also carried out by studying literature, scientific works, and other readings related to the research. Next, I will present data analysis method. The data analysis method used in this research is quantitative descriptive analysis. This research analyzes by calculating, reviewing, explaining, and describing the methods of determining the decision to accept or reject the relevant cost methods. Move to writing systematic. Writing systematics are divided into 6 chapters. Chapter 1, Introduction. This first chapter explains the background of the problem, problem formulation, research objective, and research benefit. Chapter 2, Literature Review. This chapter describes the theories that underlie the research. Chapter 3, Research Methodology. The research methodology chapter contains the location and time of the study, the types and source of data used, data collection techniques, data analysis method, writing systematic, and research schedule. Chapter 4, Company Overview. The next chapter is fourth chapter, which describes the general description of the company, which contains a brief history of the establishment of ABC company, organizational structure, duties and responsibilities, and production process. Chapter 5, Result and Discussion. The discussion chapter contains the result of research on the classification of production costs and analysis and calculation of relevant costs in relation to making decisions to accept or reject special order. Chapter 6, Closing. The last chapter is the closing, which contains conclusion and suggestion in the research. This is the end of my presentation. If there is a mistake, I apologize. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.